All right, everyone, welcome back. Melissa Okabe, Also Properties here for our Female Entrepreneur Interview Series. I'm so excited to welcome today's guest. Her name is Sara Zanelletti. She is an actress, a writer, a former Cirque du Soleil performer, and she, of course, is an entrepreneur with her own Italian language coaching and consulting business to managers, celebrities, and singers. So please help me in welcoming today's guest, Sara Zanelletti.
Thank you. Wow. Did I win any Oscar?
I think you did. You have many, many interesting accomplishments. So I'm so excited to talk about it.
Thank you, Melissa. Thanks.
Absolutely. So Sara, why don't we start from the beginning and, just let our audience know a little bit more about you. I know you have such an interesting background in the arts and performing.
Sì, grazie. Hi, I'm Sara Zanelletti. I'm Italian. And I'm a dancer. I mean, right now I've changed career, but I've always danced. So I started dancing when I was 6 years old in Italy, and I was very passionate about it. And then I decided to be a professional dancer. So I auditioned a lot, and then I was part of many musicals, dance companies in Italy, and I really, really loved it. However, it was a pretty stressful life because you never know when you get a job. You might audition and might not get a job. So everything is very unstable in your life. So to be in entertainment, especially as a dancer actress, you have to be mentally strong. But sometimes, it's like, how mentally strong can I be? Because, you go through anxiety, panic attack. I mean, at the end nowadays, like everyone, I'm sure
yes.
in every field you go through some stress. We are all stressed out by life in general. But and then in 2008, I got a contract from Cirque du Soleil. I flew to Las Vegas. That was my first American city that I've seen. Wow. Yeah, so from Italy, I've never been to America before. And actually, it wasn't even my dream. I never thought of being in America. I thought about work in Europe, but never in the United States. So anyway, but I wanted to work with Cirque du Soleil, and they only had companies in the United States or China, like very further away from my country. So I left. I left my family, I left everything. And my friends, my cat. No, I don't have a cat. I never had any pets. But I left in 2008 my country. I flew to Vegas, as I said, and that my journey in the United States started. It was good. I really, really enjoyed it. It was challenging, I must say. And one thing I want to say, sometimes we want to reach a dream. And we think that after we reach that dream, we're so happy, we accomplished everything. Actually, it was the opposite. Because the dream I thought of Cirque du Soleil, it wasn't really as I was depicting in my mind. Like it was good, but at the same time, I realized I needed more. I wanted to use my voice. I wanted to use my emotions, and just dancing and using my body, it wasn't enough. And for sure, you do 10 shows a week, kind of a repetition. You change the choreography, but it's a repetition of the movements and choreography. So maybe I've reached the limit in my dancing career.
I think so, at the peak.
I think so. I was quite exhausted. So when my contract was over after 3 years working with Cirque du Soleil, I blanked. like, what am I going to do? Because I knew myself as a dancer. That's who I was. I said, okay, I'm a dancer. I'm good at it. I worked a lot in order to be good. And then when that was over, when I decided, because it was my decision, when I decided I didn't want to dance anymore, I didn't have anything else behind me, under my belt. Nothing at all. I didn't feel worth it, sorry. And yeah, it was I had kind of a identity crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And so the transition was a little bit difficult. And so I moved to Los Angeles in 2011 to pursue acting.
Yes.
To stay in my business. But yes, still, how do you support yourself? Like, oh, sorry, I keep talking, but maybe you have a question.
No, I love it. Yeah, continue on. I'm writing down some questions along the way.
I keep talking, but maybe.
Yeah, continue, please. Yes.
So in 2011, I moved to Los Angeles for acting. Yes. So I started going to acting classes and to become an actress in Hollywood. Yes. And yeah, because like some friends were saying, you're different because you are Italian. That's what they were saying. So you can maybe get casting because your niche is smaller, and all of these good things that were were pumping me up.
Yes.
But at the end, it didn't really work. I'm still an actress. I'm back in the game. Actually, okay. I'm with an agent right now, and we are starting to get back to acting and casting. But still, how do I support myself? Because I wasn't making any money. I did something. I did short films, a feature film. I was nominated at the Erie. So at the Erie Film Festival, yes. I got a job. I got a role. Said, Sara, you're perfect to be a monster, a creature. You are gonna be so good. I said, okay. Is that a compliment? So I was a creature. Actually, sorry, I got confused. When I won the Erie Film Festival, I wasn't a creature, but I played a very ambiguous character. Anyway, it was a girl who got under a surgery in order to release her creativity and live a normal life. Yeah, it was a very good short film. The title is Normalcy. You can find it on YouTube, online. The creature was something else. Thank God I didn't win as a creature. No, I'm joking.
The importance you won. I mean, that's great that you won. An award for the acting.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
perfect. Well, I do actually have a few questions touching on a few things that you've mentioned already. One, I love that you had mentioned early on about, the mental strength that was needed, right? In terms of, auditioning, especially in such a competitive industry. But I think that's something that is very applicable to everyone today, right? In our current pandemic environment, I think people may be in a position where they are getting a new job, or they're trying to start something new, or, in your industry, maybe getting back in there after a pause from the pandemic. So maybe can you talk a little bit about, how you kept your mindset strong during these times, and, how you continue to make yourself push forward?
Yes, when I was auditioning, my strength was the preparation. So I was going to my dance class. We're talking about when I was in Italy, right? As a dance. Yes, I used to go to many dance classes during the week. And then I just had faith. I think one thing that really helped me was visualizing that I was doing it already, and then I find out it's actually a technique. So you can, well, of course, you need some confidence. You need to know who you are. And if you are prepared, as I thought I was, you can't doubt yourself, because when you do a casting, you give the best of yourself, you give your energy, your emotion, your body, your mind in that moment. Regardless if the audition goes well or not, that's not your fault. That's not on you. You know, you can only give the best as you can, the best you can. And then if they don't take you, just like, I know it's very hard, but just trying to think, okay, I did my best. I wasn't right for this job, for this opportunity, but I know that it's coming. It'll come because I'm prepared, because I'm exercising a lot. I'm auditioning a lot, and also auditioning is a good tool to get better, because more you audition and more you get confident in yourself, in your qualities, what you have. So it's the whole package. Yes. For me, was, as I said, the preparation and the faith in what I was doing. I had a lot of faith. I knew that my time would have come.
Yes, absolutely.
My time, my mind was coming. And I mean, I'm honest, I've suffered of anxiety and panic attack, yes, because you're not prepared to failures that are not failures, but that's what you think.
Yes.
Because you don't know, especially the first time, the rejections that happen at the beginning of your path, at the beginning of being a dancer. So the first auditions, when it's a no, thank you. You're not prepared to that. You're like, wait, I'm exercising. I'm taking a lot of dance classes. People tell me I'm good. What's going on? But then you build, your skin gets tougher.
Yeah, the thick skin.
Yeah, and so you say, okay, it'll come. And the key is being passionate of what you're doing every single day. If you are passionate, you can handle rejections very well, because in your inner self, it's going to come. Your time is going to come. You have to be confident, for sure. You have to, it might be helpful reading books. I used to read, and still now, books for self-confidence, and try to keep my mind sane. And also detach yourself from it. Like, you do a casting, it doesn't go well, or you go to a job interview and it doesn't go well. Okay, like that day, maybe treat yourself, like go out with your best friend, or do something else that is not related to your business.
Absolutely.
It could be, a good film, chilling with your friends, a glass of wine, something. I know it's hard because your mind goes there, but you have to detach yourself. You need that. And I've learned that later on, because I was so immersed in my field, in dancing so much. I was so serious about it. Probably in retrospect, I would have taken different choices, maybe enjoying more life. But I was young. I was in my 20s. And
yes, full pedal to the metal. No, but I love what you had said, Sara. There's a lot of little pearls there. One that, it's the process of growing, right? Of acquiring new skills, improving yourself daily. And that process creates your growth, right? And as you continue to get better in your skills, that your time will come. I love that. I think that that's so important to remember.
Definitely. Please, you really have to keep going if that's what you want to do. If you enjoy doing it, you have to enjoy it. Yes. So
absolutely. Yeah, it's so important. I love how you said that. It's and the visualization too. I think that that's definitely a huge technique. I've heard, multiple entrepreneurs talk about it as well. So I think that's a really great point you brought up too.
Yeah. See, I really, especially with Cirque du Soleil, I remember I was in Italy and I fed up with the Italian market, being a dancer over there. everything was very restricted. I felt like in a cage, and then probably I exhausted my country. And I said, I want to speak English every day, and I want to go on stage and taking a bow and have my own role, being a soloist in a show and something. And it wasn't an obsession, but I kept visualizing it, like especially the details, like feeling people, feeling the audience. And well, eventually happened. I mean, some people say you were just lucky, probably, but I felt I really created that world in
yourself,
my mind and my heart.
Yes. And that intentionality, I think, right? As you focus in on every detail, the feeling, even when you were speaking about it, I got chills. I was imagining with you, you know, that feeling of the audience, everything. It's really beautiful. And yeah, I think, you know, yourself acting with such intentionality. Absolutely. It was not luck. Don't listen to them. That was not luck. It was you.
Luck. That's the part of luck, Melissa. You know, a little bit, yes, there is, but you have to do the work first. This is my thought, I think, in that way.
Yes. And then, so Sara, as well, like, how do you feel like your past experiences have contributed to your business that you are now running yourself?
Oh, a lot. Yes. A lot, because I'm a silly teacher. I make my students laugh. I mean, being the entertainment, it helped me a lot, and it helps a lot, and it can be in any form. I don't think you need to be necessarily a professional dancer or professional actress, but it could be doing a stand-up, something that, like, in front of the audience, that you can be not rewarded, yes, but bringing your soul and making people feel good. It could be a laugh. It could be a laugh. It could be an emotion. So when I teach Italian, that's very pivotal for my business, because I've never been a speaker or a public speaker in the past. Okay. But I always had communication skills. Like, I didn't like going to school or studying, to be truthful. But I like to talk a lot and discovering people's lives. I remember that. Always asking questions to my friends, like wondering about their opinions. So probably that's a quality that I had, but for sure, being a dancer and then acting, and especially being here in the United States, I grew a lot. And then I applied all of those skills, anything that I had to offer, I applied those skills into the Italian coaching. And again, this is something you learn on the go, you know, because every student is different. And so one thing I want to say, if you are stuck with something in the business, or you want to change your career and shifting career, always look at what do you have that you can use, like anything that you can offer. For me, it was my language. It was the entertainment. So being out there, like, is very spoken, like I like to speak. So communication, the language, my Italian language, and then my acting skills, all of these, they came together to make a better teacher and coach. So, and you can, if you dig into yourself, you can find those qualities. It might take a while, but everyone has it. We all have something that we don't know, and we discover step by step.
Yes, absolutely. And it's such a good point too, because I feel like maybe someone, you know, if they're in a transition, right, they feel like, oh, I've been at this job and I have these skills for so long. How can I start something new? But what you said is so true, right? It's like, yes, you can bring those things with you to the next one, and also maybe contribute something different, right? allow, you know, a new perspective, a fresh perspective.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And then, Sara, what are some things that you have? I know we've talked a little bit about some things you have definitely learned along the way being an entrepreneur. But if there's maybe like a key takeaway that you remember, you know, along your path, a piece of advice or a mentor, can you share maybe a little bit about some standout moments?
So in my career, as an Italian teacher, well, let's I'm not ready. One, I realized, well, first of all, I realized I really wanted to teach Italian when my students started speaking the language. So at the beginning, it was very hard for them. And then when they started speaking, thanks to my approach and their approach, because to me, it's a teamwork. It's not just me, like they have to do work as well. Yes. So the combination of like the two of us together, when they start speaking, that's such a relief, like almost ecstatic. Like because then from that moment, I can talk to them freely and they can share their own stories. They can share their own experiences. So I realized, wow, I'm talking to them. They are American, they are Japanese, they're coming from different countries. And now they're speaking my language and we're talking about anything about their lives. And that was very emotional as well. Like I can say it made me feel good. It was an accomplishment more than how can I say, than a teacher say, oh, my student now speaks Italian because I taught well. It isn't just that, but it's more a fusion of our two minds that together, like our hearts, they meet in the same, like in the center, like, because when they share the stories with you, sometimes you feel like a psychologist or like a life coach, because they talk to you about their own problems in Italian.
Yes.
And so you're like, wow, there's a combination, like there are so many things that are beyond like being an Italian coach. And that's why sometimes it's hard to say I'm an Italian teacher, because I feel there's so much more in this business, in my business, that it could be Italian, for sure, Italian teacher, but coach, mentor, everything.
Yes, no, it's beautiful. And I love how you talked about too, like the two hearts merging, and just a really beautiful way of speaking about that. I love that.
See, that's how I feel. And that's why when I teach, well, sometimes I have to scream inside my wardrobe, and then I can teach. I release myself. No, I'm joking. All of my clients, my students are very nice, very, very nice. And well, probably if they weren't, or if I wasn't, we wouldn't be working together. So for sure, there has to be a chemistry between us. And another thing, it's when I started teaching public figures, celebrities, like very demanding people, that was very helpful because my communication skills had to change. But I've learned while I was in front of them. And another key for your business, like, I mean, for me, I'm talking for myself, like, be who you are, be yourself all the way through. No matter is what I say, but no matter if you are in front of the Pope, in front of the president, next president, no matter what, no politics, but no matter what, be yourself, like be kind, be generous, give yourself to them the way you are, the way you want to give yourself, like without pretending of being someone else or portraying someone else. That would be such an effort. Like, so be who you are, and people see it, they see it, and they're gonna like it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think authenticity is so important.
Authenticity, yeah.
It makes a real connection. Absolutely. And I can see easily why you have so many great clients.
Thank you. No, thank you. I'm working, and I've always worked on myself. Try to give. For me, I think success, and I haven't reached it yet, and it probably doesn't exist. Success is like your path, is your life.
Right.
There's never an ultimate goal. There is, but then you keep growing and growing. Now I don't want to be dark, but until we die, I think until we're done on Earth, like there's never you've never reached the climax, I think. And you do, but then you start all over.
Yes, you continue growing, new challenge.
Yeah, new growing. And now I lost the track of my thought. No, I was saying that yes, you have to. For me, success is giving, because that's why what you have, discover what you have, and then bring it out.
Yes.
For people to learn from you, and then they can take it with them, and then they can pass it on their own version, because what you teach is your way, and then they learn from you, and then they teach to someone else through their business, not as a teacher necessarily, but through anything they do, and they bring their own version with your teaching. So I think it's in life, it's a giving process.
I 100% agree. Absolutely. And that, like you were speaking to about, the impact, on your students, and how you feel so passionate about giving, and then allowing them to grow in their space too, and watching that interaction. And I think that's very, very, very important. In any business that we do, right? It is about contributing and giving. So really great point. And speaking of giving, Sara, maybe you can speak a little bit about, I know you also do an Italian and English interview series. Yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit about that.
I'm doing so I created Sara Z La La Land.
Yes.
And I'm doing a lot of interviews with English speaking guests and Italian speaker guests and English speaker guests. And this idea came to me just during the quarantine, because I said, what can I do? Maybe I can give something to my audience, to people. And I've started doing like short videos, teaching some Italian words, and then change it with English. So in English, you'd say this, and then in Italian, but they were kind of funny, like funny scenes. And then when I started, I got better and better. My production values are very limited because it's one camera, and then it's myself with the help of another person. But I'm having fun doing it. So I'm creating those funny scenes, and I'm putting the subtitles in Italian and in English. And then I said, why not? I like to talk, right? I like to communicate. So why not having guests? Because when I teach Italian, and when my client and my student speak the language very well, it's almost like a live. It's almost like an interview, because I'm asking questions, they answer. So that was a consequence of my business as well.
Okay, very interesting.
And that's why I've started doing my interviews. And so I decided to have English, to speak in English. So I think to have English guests and then Italian guests.
Okay.
And see, I'm still growing. So I don't have like lots of followers. I mean, 1 million, but it's ongoing. It's a process, especially the social media. And I have to say, Melissa, that I hated it. I didn't like the beginning. Well, I always hated social media, Facebook.
Yes.
On Instagram, I'm on Instagram. I've been on Instagram only for 3 years, but actively only since probably February.
Okay.
Yeah, from February, because I didn't know what to put on Instagram or even on Facebook. I've been on Facebook for, 9 years, but I've never really been active on Instagram, posting photos, nothing at all. So for me, again, the social media is very good if you have something to say. So like your account is great, what you're doing, Melissa, and what other people are doing that are offering some interview, or it could be some quotes they come up with in order to help people. If you use the social media in that way, it's great. Now I love it. Even my friends say, "Wait, Sara, but you hate it Instagram." And now I'm like, I'm always on Instagram. stories, like interview. Like, oh my God, now I'm enjoying it because I have something to say, or I want to say something. And through my guests, of course, through their words and my questions, and through a conversation, a genuine conversation, and through those silly scenes that I'm creating to learn a few Italian words.
Absolutely. So what is an Italian phrase we should all know?
Oddio, a cursing phrase? No. No. An Italian phrase. Oh, mamma mia.
How can we say maybe like you were such an inspiration?
Oh, you were such an inspiration. Tu sei davvero un'ispirazione. Tu sei, like you are davvero really an inspiration, un'ispirazione.
Oh, tu sei davvero?
Davvero, sì.
Davvero?
Un'ispirazione. Well, you too, Melissa, you are, because I know you for a while now. We met in another business, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it working with you.
Thank you. Likewise. And I'm so happy and proud of you. Everything that you are building for yourself. It's incredible. You have this booming coaching, consulting, Italian language business. You're doing great things. I'm just so happy for you.
Grazie. Thank you. And also I'm working on my book. I wrote a book, and actually I signed with a publishing house, but because of the quarantine in Italy, they backed up. So they abandoned me.
Oh.
So my book is orphaned now. My book doesn't have any parents. No, I'm looking for a new publishing house. The book is in Italian, but I'm not myself, actually. A very good student of mine, she's so good in Italian as well. She's translating in English, and probably later on I will translate it, or I will have someone translating in Spanish as well, because I'm learning Spanish. So I can maybe I can check the book in Spanish and see. So I have that too. And also another project, I wrote the first draft of the TV series, kind of based on my book.
Okay.
So, but we'll see. That's gonna be a new
Wow.
challenge like the TV series. We shall see. We'll see.
Okay. Is the plan for that one to do it on Italian TV or American TV?
It's in English. The TV series is
Okay.
going to be in English. Like, yeah, the first draft is in English, but it's yes, Italian American production probably. But right now I'm an early stage, so
okay.
I'm getting some feedback at this moment and probably some rewriting, and then we shall see. But I'm working on that too, alongside with the book. See.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Grazie.
And then finally, Sara, where can our audience find you and keep in touch with you?
See, I'm on Instagram at Sara. I don't know, you say it's the hyphen, but the lower hyphen. The dash is like
the underscore?
Oh, underscore, like the little, yeah. Okay, so Sara underscore Zanelletti, Zanelletti. And also on Facebook at Sara Zanelletti, my name and my last name. And I have a website for if anyone is interested in learning Italian, www. Sorry. Oh my God, I'm confusing right now. www.myitalianlessons.com.
Perfect. Beautiful.
And if anyone would like to learn a language in 2021, that could be a good starting. Let's hope it's going to be a good starting for everyone.
Absolutely. Agreed. Well, thank you again. Grazie mille.
Grazie mille. Thanks to you, Melissa. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Ciao. Thank you to everyone.
Ciao.
Ciao.